Today, we're going to be talking about how the brain wants certainty and how to use this to your advantage. So, the brain wants to know what happens in the future. And we don't actually know, but it wants that certainty. So, what it does is it actually creates it for you. Now, because the brain is wired to scan for danger, the way that it creates it is it creates all of these things in your future that you need to worry about, that you should prepare for, that might cause you pain later. So it really creates your future in a way that probably isn't what you want. I want you to think about your goal. If your brain is left to default, what does it say about your goal? Probably says it's not working. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. If you do it, it's not going to work out. And so it's creating these things. It sounds very certain. It sounds very convincing. And so then when we show up to our goal and we're met with this thing that seems very certain and very convincing, we're like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't actually know if I can do this. And so what you want to do is kind of hack this part of your brain where we know that our brain wants certainty. So instead of just letting it create it with its fear and danger in mind, we want to create it on purpose. And we want to sound very certain when we do it. So, what this could look like is I'm going to achieve my goal and getting very specific about what that looks like. Like, if you want to make more money, it's like, what is the actual amount of money that I'm going to make? And telling your brain that, like, I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to do it by this date. I'm going to do it in this way. It's going to feel like this. It's going to be like that. Like, you want to just pull in all of these things and say it to yourself with like this certainty. Like, this is going to happen. I know this is going to happen because this is going to happen because I've been able to do this. I've been able to do that. I can try this. I can try that. I'm not going to give up. Like, just starting to give your brain this evidence of like, this is going to happen. Now, when I'm saying this, what might be coming up is your brain's like, yeah, but I don't want to be delusional. That might not happen. But here's the thing, when your brain tells you that you can't, when your brain tells you that it's not going to happen, it's already being delusional. It's already wrong. And what's so funny about that is we don't want to be wrong. So when we tell ourselves with certainty, like we're going to achieve the goal, our brain's like, oh, we don't want to be wrong about that. Don't say that. But then when it tells you that you can't, it's also wrong, but it doesn't have any problem with being wrong about that. And so I want you to just sit with that uncomfortable feeling. Like I'm going to say with certainty that I'm going to hit that goal. It's going to feel uncomfortable because I might be wrong about it, but it is okay. I like to also think I'm like, no one else is around. No one knows that I'm saying this to myself. So I don't have to be embarrassed. I don't have to go tell people I was wrong about me thinking I could achieve my goal. I can just think it. I can just say it. And I'm the only one that has to know. So, what I want to encourage you to do today is just practice this for just a few minutes. How can you create that certainty? How can you speak with certainty that these things are going to happen? And then just keep practicing that. Because the more that you tell yourself that, the more that you're going to believe it. And so when you tell yourself, like, I'm going to achieve that goal, at first it might be like, ooh, I don't know, feels a little uncomfortable. Sit with that discomfort and then tell yourself again. And eventually you kind of start to convince yourself where you're like, oh, you know what? I actually could achieve this goal because I've found all of this evidence of the ways that I could do it. I know all of these things about myself. I'm starting to believe it's possible. I can see it more clearly now. And from that place, you build that belief in your goals. So we're going to be going deeper into this, like how to build a belief in your goal, how to become your future self, how to achieve the goals that you want to achieve in my course, How to Create Commitment. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you want to get on the waitlist. Go to createcommitment.com to join the waitlist for the course.